Hey Scorpio, what's going on? We're here with a timeless reading. First card that we have out is Three of Swords and Judgment. Okay. This is an interesting thing to see because it shows that something has gone on and you're in the place to want to understand it. So the Judgment card is actually representative of Pluto, and Pluto is Scorpio's modern ruler. And what Pluto likes to do is to undress things, to get to the center of something in order to understand it and to see what's going on, to get to the heart of the matter, to get to the truth of it. Having Three of Swords and having Judgment can be you looking at something that you feel bothered by. It can be you looking at something that you felt hurt by. It can be you trying to understand something. It can be something that's presently happening. It can be something that already did happen. Whatever this is, it's something where it impacted you in a way where you were affected by that. And now I'm seeing you be in this mode of trying to learn about that and trying to understand it. Like, why did that impact me in the way that it did? Why do I feel affected by that? What's going on? So I'm seeing you be in a very analytical mode here. For some of you, this happened within a close relationship. It can be like a partnership, something like that. I'm looking at the Lovers, so it can be just a situation that happened, an interpersonal thing between you and somebody that's close to you or somebody that you care about, and wanting to understand this. This can also be you wanting to understand another person, like maybe something hurt them and you're like, I want to understand why it impacted them like that. So it can be you, it can also be you focusing on another person. I'm seeing somebody that you're working together with here. Like, it feels like working together in a relationship, so this can be working on the relationship. It can be learning things, talking, like communicating. Definitely stuff coming up about feelings, and I'm hearing personal strength, but I'm also getting something coming through about, you know, when we have certain perspectives that can be really set in stone, something along the lines of that could have been challenged. This can even be about like hard beliefs that are connected with the future or plans or where things are going. It can be that sort of thing. Now, having Page of Cups out here is a fluid energy where it's like you connecting with your intuition and your feelings that are going to be popping up in every moment. And that can mean that, like, in one moment I'm feeling this or I'm sensing this, and then in the next moment it could be telling me something else, but it's because it's connected with the truth and not necessarily a loyalty to how things have been. Like the Page of Cups, having cups, it's not a stagnant type of energy. So this is something where it's always going to be telling you the truth in every moment, but it can sometimes vary when it comes to what it's telling you. And it's about tuning in and really listening to that, really hearing what that is. So this feels like being unfettered, like being untethered to anything that would block you from hearing the truth in any given moment. Now, having Three of Wands and having the Hierophant can feel like you're making progress when it comes to certain things that you could be feeling more rigid about. Like, there may be certain stuff that you've set up, like mentally, physically, where you're like, I have to lean on this code or these beliefs because this is what allows me to feel safe, or this is what allows me to feel secure. It feels like more so from a psychological level. Having Judgment and having Hierophant here, it's going to be about dissecting the beliefs that you have, especially ones that you could feel like are not allowing you to grow in a moment where it feels like this is an opportunity to do so. So you're like, if I stay holding on to these things, it may create this temporary feeling of safety, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not integrating something important here. And so you can feel like that is it's an opportunity to address that here and to really tune in and to listen to what's going on. Because I'm feeling this Page of Cups be something that is not aligned with anything particular except for the truth. And so it feels like it's not like influenced by anything except for like what's really going on in a moment and what your higher self and your feelings and your intuition is communicating with you. It's like not allegiant to anything, you know, like Page of Cups is not picking a side of like it has to be like this or it has to be like that. Page of Cups, it's going to be these like feelings and these instincts that you have that are telling you like what's going on and advising you in a moment. And it can also be things that are popping up that you can be feeling that you have to give context to. And there could be an old way that you had been giving context to something, and maybe now you're seeing that it was the old way of doing something. And you can be at this point where you're like, I feel like this is coming up in order for me to recognize this, dissect it, and once I understand it, it's then going to be integrated with everything else. But you can feel like for now it's kind of sticking out to you. So this can be something that on a mental level you're like, I can't let this go, or like I keep thinking about this thing, or it's still bothering me. And that's a sign for you that you're still processing something, that you're still taking something apart, that you're still understanding it. And I'm seeing the encouragement be for you to stick with this, because once you understand it, it's going to like be absorbed back into everything else, and then you'll be on your way. I do feel like there's a recognition that there was like a plan or an idea of a plan that you had, but upon further inspection, you can be like, I feel like it's more rigid than it needs to be. That like I did want things to go this way. Maybe you still want things to go that way, but you could also feel like it's not allowing you to be present and accepting of a particular moment that you're finding yourself in. It's almost like unless things go this specific way, I'm not going to be happy with it. Like I'm not even going to be able to stand it. Like having this Three of Wands and the Hierophant here can be like, I will not enjoy the moment unless it's exactly what I envisioned. And then you can really be shortchanging yourself and not allowing yourself to feel that sense of connection and gratitude in a given moment because of this like model of expectation that you have, like these ideas that you have about how you think that things are supposed to be. And sometimes you can even think that, and then in a moment it's like really what it is supposed to be for yourself, but not able to see that because of only being able to see how you thought it was going to be, and then not being receptive to the gift of that moment. This can also be a shift that's happening when it comes to like where you place the emphasis on what allows you to feel secure. Because maybe you were putting like a sense of security in the future rather than in the present moment. Something along the lines of that. Okay. Having Judgment and having Hermit, both cards of deep analysis, both cards of deep understanding, both cards of tuning in to something that can feel like it's smarting for you. This Three of Swords is, there's something coming up and it is troubling me so much, or it is noticeable enough that I feel like I must address this. I must understand it. So you can feel like I need to have my own process. This Hermit card in this deck feels like I need to understand this and I need to do it my way. So I'm going to go through my own process. I don't need anybody else to tell me how to do this. This is my way that I'm going to go about understanding this, and I need to be like left alone in order to do this, because I know how to do this for myself. I just need the space to have my own process here. Because you're definitely dealing with some big energies. Okay. Once you find what you're looking for, which I'm seeing that you do, I'm getting there be understanding. See how this Six of Swords is about being able to move forward once we understand something. See this little guy right here looking at this? These are like the thoughts, the narratives, the framework, all of the thinking stuff. And this little guy over here is looking at it like, wow, now I'm understanding that. And you can even see how it like goes in a line, so it can be like a train of thought that you're understanding. It can be even like a block, like see how it kind of makes a wall here. It can even be something like that you're understanding. Like I'm seeing how mentally I place things strategically and I wasn't able to get through it, and so by dissecting this I'm able to move beyond this. So it's working it through in order to get to the other side. And then I'm seeing you be connected back with the Page of Cups, which is that part of you that's in that free flow space where you can feel like you're back connected with intuitive communication in a way that you may have felt like something else. It's like the Page of Cups is the way that you're connected with your feelings and with your intuition and with your higher self. It's like on the line with that. But it looks like Three of Swords kind of took over the phone and was like, I need to talk to you instead. And so Page of Cups sort of had to go on the back burner and you needed to address something. And now Page of Cups is back on the line. Because you heard out whatever the Three of Swords needed to say to you, which is something about like wounding, pain, something that's popping up to be addressed. It's like a part of you that's like, this is going on and I want to be heard, I want to be recognized, I want to be understood. So through you spending time with that part of yourself, then it's able to be integrated and go back, and then you're back on the phone with your Page of Cups. And I'm seeing that there be this like internal resonance that you're feeling here with yourself, where it even feels like a bit of like coming back home or just feeling reconnected again. And also knowing how to move forward. I feel like there's a sense of confidence that you gain through this experience as well, Scorpio. Having the Sun here can also be, you can feel like as you went through this process, it could have felt like something that was triggering to your ego or how you were perceiving yourself. It can also be an aspect of your personality that you feel like is changing through this process, evolving through this process. Growing, learning. Yeah, what I'm seeing is that there was like an investing, even if this is emotional or psychological, there was an investing in like material future things. That can even be like just a situation materializing or not materializing. There was some type of like fixation or attachment on that. Having Three of Wands and having the Devil is like I need to get to that point because that's how I'm going to have what I need. And also having the Hierophant here, like having the Capricorn and the Taurus energy, these are two earth energies. It's going to be associated with what's manifesting. Having Three of Wands, this is like in the future what's going to be taking place. My fixed like perspective of that initially through the situation that ended up being challenged, and then my attachment to that. So I think also too, what you're realizing is this attachment that you had to an idea, because it wasn't even something that was presently there with you. It's like, I'm really attached to this expectation that I have of things happening in this way, or in 6 months from now, this is what's going to be going on. It can be like that type of thing, and feeling like it must be that way, otherwise I'm not going to be able to deal with that, like that. And because of feeling that way, it can be something that then doesn't allow you to function in that moment when things don't go that way, because of being like, it has to be this way or else. And then when things don't go that way, going through like this whole process of mourning that thing. And then sometimes even having cognitive dissonance, because it's like, I still can't accept that, I still can't accept that. So this is like before all of that ends up happening, whether stuff materializes or not, because maybe it's going to go how you thought it was going to go. This feels like addressing something that needed to be addressed. It looks like this is coming back to a partnership. Like, this is something that happened. When I say partnership, I just mean this is something that occurred between you and another person. And I'm seeing there be, like, you guys care for one another, but something upsetting happened, or something painful happened, or something uncomfortable happened. And it could have brought up, like, past stuff as well. Stuff where it's like, I told you not to hit me there because I already feel like a wound that never healed. It can be that type of thing, but in this relationship it ended up triggering something, is what I'm seeing. This is part of your spiritual contract with this person. Like, I'm definitely seeing it be one of those relationships where certain stuff that you may feel very rigid about, this relationship may highlight those things for you in order to bring you back into a middle space. Like, certain things that you may be very extreme with, this relationship can be something where it's like, look at how uptight you are about that, just in a reflective way. Because maybe nobody even called anybody out specifically, but the way that a situation went could have highlighted this, of like, wow, I'm holding on to that really tightly. Or I'm not leaving any space for the possibility of what could be, and maybe that's going to be even better than I could expect or imagine. And this can also be the part of you too that wants to, like, demand certain stuff or make certain rules and be like, it has to be like that. And when you're working with another person, like, where does that really leave room for the other person that's involved in this? So that can also be something that's being worked out too, where it's like, sometimes you're going to be able to call the shots in that way, and then other times maybe somebody else wants to, and maybe also too there can be more of a, like, let's see what happens, rather than things needing to be necessarily, like, predetermined, even though certain things aren't really as far as what we're imagining or what we're hoping. It seems too like this highlights a particular attachment that you have. Having the Devil and having the Lovers can be like, this is showing to me, this is highlighting to me that I have been attached to this relationship, like using this relationship in a way where it's doing something for me, it's providing something for me that I'm not providing for myself, and that's why I'm clinging to this so strongly. Because there's nothing wrong with feeling connected to somebody, with, like, loving somebody and being in the relationship, but when the Devil is involved with the Lovers, it can create a bit of a toxic dynamic between you and someone else that you may find. Like, you can look at it and be like, I don't think that this is the healthiest way to go about this, or I don't think that this is allowing space to breathe. This feels more like not allowing room for things to be as they are. So it can be like a lack of acceptance for what things will be, and more of a predetermined, things are going to be like this. Otherwise, like, I can't deal with that. Like, that sort of thing. Associated with having Three of Wands and the Lovers, it's like you're making progress with somebody. This can also be about, like, where you're going to go with this like, where will you be going with this person? Where will your relationship be going with this person? And having Devil and the Hierophant can be clinging to these very, very, like, hard, rigid beliefs that we have about how things must be, and don't allow the nature and the path to be malleable as it naturally is. And it's something that can really cut off the life force of things too. Having the Devil and having the Lovers can also be like some codependency stuff. Lots of different ways that this can manifest, but you can feel like there's a way that the relationship, this isn't saying like the whole relationship, this isn't saying like the whole relationship is trash or anything like that. It's saying that there may be an aspect of a dynamic with this person that you have that you can look at and be like, I don't think that this is the healthiest way to carry this out, or I don't think that this is aligned with the best interest of everybody involved. So it can be like using the relationship to self-soothe something that's being bypassed because it's painful to address, like that type of thing. So that doesn't mean that you can't have a healthy functioning relationship with this person. It just feels like within the dynamic, something has now been highlighted that now can be worked on, that you may have before been using the relationship for in order to avoid actually. But through this sense of understanding, it allows you to move forward. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm definitely seeing you made a lot of progress in this relationship with this person. I'm seeing Gemini, Taurus, Capricorn, the Sun, Virgo, and Pluto here. You may have a Pluto Sun contact with this person in your synastry. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.